Yeah, g'day everyone on YouTube. I thought I'd do another video while I'm actually been able to speak pretty fluently at the moment, without using the air mask every 5 minutes, blah blah blah. Some days I have that are real good, some days I have that aren't. First of all, I'd like to just thank everyone, all the people I spoke to over the last couple of months, and comments here and there, that basically just cheered me up and allowed them to get a better understanding or whatever, the feeling of appreciation, you know what I mean, during a time that's so fucking hard at the moment, because a lot of people that read the manual understand that what we're seeing right now is the implosion. The implosion that I said that would happen basically if everyone didn't wake up, and the way that everything was going, no one was going to wake up. Everyone was going to maintain to that program, that systematic belief program and design that they could never outbreak of, and this is allowing many people that couldn't see outside the box to pop their head up through the top of the box and have a look around and realise there's a lot bigger to the whole picture of what they believe is existence than what they've actually been taught. And what we know as physical reality is very, very far away of what's the truth of all of existence. So I tried to explain quite a few times in the past, like, I do understand the situation with myself. I brought information that shouldn't be inside of this physical construct back into this physical construct. And I know through synchronicity of source all the time, trying to give me that 187 everywhere I fucking look, trying to say, you got to exit out. You've got this information that you're inside and you're spreading around. This is only information that people should have when they're on their deathbed and they're about to enter right back into what we all are and go back into that universal consciousness that's self-aware of all existence and is just one, and you become everything. So I'm basically bringing information in that shouldn't be here at the time because people aren't ready for this full understanding, and that's just the truth of it. We are in the age of advancing into that beyond 2000 kind of scenario of what we were taught through all this indoctrination, even though a lot of the good things from those kind of documentaries never ever come to tuition into the tuition of actually being existent, that we can actually have, all of these fucking health saving procedures and flying cars, etc. I remember one of them said that we were going to go to the fucking moon and we were going to be able to have picnics on the moon, and it'll be your own personal little vehicle. So all of that shit was basically just fucking, like when you're looking at a movie made for reality. But anyway, besides the point. In the manual, so the manual actually explains that there will be this implosion. Now, what we see, I'll try not to use the fucking word all the time and shit, because hey, at the moment there's a lot on this channel, and I'd rather keep it for YouTube to actually look at through as well. So the CV understanding and what the mentality is behind it is showing that every single thing of existence right now is not how you thought it was before. It's the duality to what you knew. A lot of people are being oppressed, and they're not allowing their awareness to exceed to the limits of what it should at the moment. They're being suppressed and oppressed by their own systematic belief cycle and programs, and they cannot see the truth of all existence right now. And that's because of that judgment program once again kicking in and giving you that mentality to choose sides, when everything is created with perfection and design towards enlightenment. And that's the path of every single player inside of this construct. And what we see a lot is the NPCs being used as training examples and lessons inside of a constructed game reality that allows the spirit to slowly evolve to remember everything that it always did before. And that's the red team and the blue team. The one team is flying hints and signs without having to say to us, this is a simulation game, wake the fuck up and understand exactly what's going on. What you're doing is indoctrinating yourself more away from the true understanding, when you're having these events show up so much blatantly in your face that you're actually choosing not to wake up. So comes down to everyone's own decision, and if they're ready right now to be able to take on the next level of understanding and know the truth of all existence before they exit the matrix. Because through the Mandela effect, we all know that the energy is what shifts, and the energy is what stores that memory, electromagnetic frequency, so the speed of light, well, faster than the speed of light, the speed of thought, and it stores it as a giant data bank, and that's for every single individual expression of consciousness throughout of all existence, in and out of every parallel reality, right through all the quantum design, right through all the quantum mirrors, etc., etc. So I thought I'd just put that up there a little bit. Like I said, with the manual, it's designed so you can read it one way and read it. So once you've read it through the first time, please go back and read the dark text only, all the bold text, and you'll find out there's a different meaning, a quicker meaning, but the same meaning, but a more of a blunt to the subconscious subliminal meaning, and that's what it was designed for. There's a lot of controversial stuff in this manual. Please be aware of that if you do grab the manual as well, because the manual itself is from source, and I don't be beating around any bush to explain exactly what everything is. If it's not what it is, I'll say it's not that. I'll explain the true meaning behind some indoctrinated religious manifested beliefs, from what it was to what's been now portrayed, and the parts that are actually ignored that should actually be more brought to the day of everyone's seeing, so they could actually go, wow, I can understand exactly what that is, but it's hidden and pushed away and never ever given a meaning. But like they say, you're supposed to read these kind of books and get what you want out of it. See, that's a good way of saying that it's always going to be right to what you want it to be. So it's very interesting when you look at religions, that's for sure. Like I said, I hope everyone's well. You know, we're going into a new phase of the game, and that's what it really is. You know, like I said, I have source from the outside in my life trying to make me exit the life, and I have physical, because physical knows that when everyone understands that spiritual is more important than physical has no control, and that means that this existing hologram cannot control and have any power over you. And I have physical itself trying to attack me left, right, and centre, hence the heart failure and everything like that. You know, like the stuff that I'm going through, I've just gone through absolutely living hell since after the after the manual was released, mate, to tell you the truth. And people that get the manual talk about how like, even you can see with Max has had the manual for a while and he can't get around to reading it. It's not that he doesn't want to read it, it's just because he's busy, etc. Now, when a lot of people at the beginning bought the manual from the channel when I released it, they had the same kind of experience. Bad things happened inside the family, and it let them away from being able to get to the manual straight away to be able to look through the information, because the way that Source has designed it is you're going to get distractions, and you have to fight through those distractions, because the whole way that we're always pushed away from learning the truth of all existence is through distractions of the physical. And that's always the obstacles and the hurdles that you got to get around. And trust me, when you understand the truth of all existence, and you'll be attacked, because you become an enemy of a self-awareness of the physical construct, and it knows it. It knows what the power is for it to be removed out of the whole idea of it is domain, when the spiritual is domain, and the spiritual is what everyone should see through. Just like we should use our subconscious instead of our conscious mind, because the subconscious itself is so much more powerful, and through the subconscious, like I've said before, you can manifest anything you want into physical existence, and you just have to have that collective combined intent and energy focus towards the manifestation into the physical existence. So we have a lot to learn as what we are, from going from conscious thought into the subconscious, and actually having access to the superconscious 24/7 like we always used to before we decided to play the game. And the game right now is that we have red team and blue team, and the red team are flying different signs and signals to try to say to you, hey, you're asleep, look at this reality. This reality is what isn't what you're taught it to be. What you thought it was when you come in as a child was somewhere to have fun and just play games. And it's still a game. It's just that you're indoctrinated to believe as you get to an adult, you grow up. So you have to leave the mentality of what you knew as a child when you were pure before any indoctrination. And the truth is, right now, what you're seeing is the same idea. It's a game. Everyone's playing a role. And the whole concept of the NPCs and everything being fed into the mentality and understanding of design, when you're a designer that creates a virtual realm, is always what we've already had. We've got them all around. There's many NPCs in this constructed realm that fucking holds everything in it, like a electromagnetic what's the word? Electromagnetic capacitor throughout the whole quantum design, but we're in our own electromagnetic bubble that it itself is just is held in and just manifesting this physical illusion of reality that's giving us one kind of game experience. And the game experience went from, hey, you're robots, you need to work every day, to, hey, now you're doing the complete opposite, which is duality. You're sitting at home, work from home, etc., etc. It's a duality to how the system was running before. And all of these indoctrinated with their own systematic intent to change the design of consciousness's blueprint towards their own agenda will never ever succeed, because the whole idea of where we are right now is consciousness controls the show. None of these fucks have the power over controlling consciousness. Consciousness has designed the path and the plan of what everything will be from the get-go. We designed it as spirit, what we would have when we come in and what experiences we needed to gain that extra stepping stone to get to the full enlightenment of what it is to remember when you come straight from spirit and you remember straight from spirit. And you're just a divine entity that's inhabiting a physical flesh body, and you're truly made of light. And that is the whole truth of all existence. We are playing a game that's on the highest degree of graphics, that it goes down to every pixel being almost physical, to have a manifested solid construct that allows us to move around in it with the self-awareness of us and the self-awareness of it, that we can move inside of a invisible hologram thinking that everything is a real constructed, hard-to-touch solid surface, when even a rock vibrates, which means that it is not physical. It's just that slowed down frequency so much that it becomes a manifestation of the solid construct, and that's what everything is with everything. Everything is just made of frequency of alternating consciousness. So, and now you have, the world right now is becoming collective. Despite all of the so-called indoctrinated term for bad that's happening, everything is becoming collective. What has this thing done to the whole of humanity? It's pushed people inside their house so they can sit back and go, wow, I can reflect on everything now. I can learn how to meditate. I can get in contact with Source. No one had this time before because the busy rat race that was going on 24/7. So Source has turned around and said, well, now you do have time. Now you have the option, everything is a decision. You have to choose. And you have that option to now learn. You have the option to reconnect. The option that you never had before. It's becoming more of a constructed matrix. So these programs are ceasing to exist for a while for you, so you can start to reconnect to the true source of all creation and start to remember what everything is. And it's just going to get more crazy and crazy. Eventually the whole design of consciousness will design it the way it wants. The consciousness is one. Everything is one. Atoms are just one joining together. They're all the pixels of this constructed matrix that we all experienced, And like I said, the people through the Mandela effect, you already know that you're energy. There's no physical part to you whatsoever. And the constructed reality is also nothing but energy that changed like a graphic upgrade inside of a computer game when the frequency of consciousness changed. And like I spoke before as well, the two merging consciousnesses are now manifesting this existence, which is of duality. So it is crazy. It's pretty cool that Max Egan said that he's also experienced the stuff from the Mandela effect. That gives a bit more confirmation to those out there that may think the Mandela effect was a giant hoax. Well, the thing is, if it was a giant hoax and shit, there would have been a lot more publicity to discredit it. All they said straight away was it was cognitive dissident, and that people are mass misremembering. I mean, fucking listen to that. Mass misremembering the same thing, hey? It's almost as good as saying, I won't say that, because that will fucking have the fact checkers on my ass trying to sniff. Fucking, but you get the concept of what I'm trying to say with it all, so. But, I did think I'd put a video up there because a lot of people out there still follow the channel, and I know that at the beginning of all of this, when the channel was growing great, I got banned, and then the channel disappeared for a while, and no one could get those videos anymore. And then after that, after getting a few thousand views all the time and shit, each time I put a video up, it started to drop big time after I got shadow banned and shit because of the stuff that I was saying. So I'm used to that kind of stuff for ages. I do have a library channel now. I do post on the library channel, but I post shared information on the library channel so people can get just information I can't say on YouTube right from there, or put a video up on YouTube explaining. Remember at the beginning I had a lot of different videos that explained a lot of different stuff. People were saying like how great it was, etc. So I'm trying to do the same slowly. I am trying to also get an ebook done with the manual and that, so I can just get it out there so it's digital. A lot of people can't afford the physical because of the build of it. The paper, the coloured pages, the so many diagrams, etc., etc. So I am trying to get around to that eventually. At the moment, like you know, I am going through a living fucking hell. So bear with me. I'm still alive. I'm fucking actually surprised I'm still alive, but hey, I've still got a mission to do. I'm still here to do things. I'm still strong in spirit, and that's the main thing that matters. Physical body doesn't fucking matter. If they come up with a way of shifting consciousness right now into a avatar clone, I'd just do it, mate. I'd have no fucking problem with it, because I understand what everything is, and I'd be like fucking whoop whoop, and then I'd be ready to roll again, mate. But I have to have the true understanding of what everything is of all existence before we can have that kind of technology, because the intent of having that technology at the moment, if it existed, will be used actually for something that it's not supposed to be used for. And we have to break through this mentality of realizing that reality is real, and we have to look at reality as being virtual. Then you can start to go, holy fuck, none of this shit matters, hey. Nothing matters. All of the shit that you learned where you did study of the prior Zion and fucking Illuminati, David Icke research, and Alex Jones videos, and fucking even Sherry Shriner talking about all the extraterrestrials and the orgon and stuff like that. It really doesn't fucking matter, None of this stuff really matters at all. It just matters what you know, exactly what comes from source, and everything else is just a background program of training. Like a lot of people get the same experiences as a past life inside of this physical reality. You're drawn to subjects and matters that you already know from your past life. For example, a lot of people that research up the Knights Templar and the Cross of Malta and stuff like that, and the Rosicrucians and the fucking Masons, all that kind of shit. But they were actually experiencing that kind of reality once in a past life. They were a Mason. They were mainly the Templars, because the Templars were another game design at the time, and most of us that are right here, right now, male or female, whatever, that were a role-playing character of that game as well, in one of those kind of aspects of what you played. You could have been a milkmaid, you could have been a fucking farmer's wife, you could have been a farmer, you could have been a Knights Templar, you could have been a king, queen. All of that shit was just part of another kind of game that we were experiencing, and now we're entering to the game where we just don't want it to run like it does anymore. We want to remember everything of what it always is, and we want everything to be brought into the light of understanding, so the whole world consciousness can shift to understand everything is one. Start to look after everything as it's one. You look after yourself. Why do you look after yourself? You're one. I'm one, That's why I hope I get a lot of money from what I'm trying to do. I'll help so many fucking people, I have a lot of people on my list that I'd love to help in my life, and just say, here's a big fucking chunk of this fucking thing that's not really real, but this thing inside of this construct will allow you to be able to experience it a little bit better and have some fun instead of struggle and go through hurdles, because you chose to have this experience and you need a bit of help to break through of it, so you can get into the experience of what you truly chose, which is basically to have a bit more fun. And the indoctrination, like I said before, is what keeps you away from the true understanding of that. So the manual goes through from the truth of all existence, quantum design of all of the mirrors, the multiverses, the full design of consciousness and the construct of what we believe as dimensions, and how we're created, what we really are, what existence really is. And it just goes into every aspect of all reality from creation to right now, and what everything is of all existence, how we were before we even come into here, what's there when we leave, and it's just amazing information in the long run. And I'm very humble and grateful that Source chose me basically to be able to bring it in after the Mandela effect, because I was a classic example of the duality that was needed to teach duality, I guess. I don't really understand myself, but I do explain in the manual of what happened to me and how I was waking up and etc. like that in a chapter as well. So, and there's a lot to do with the spiritual body, a lot of spiritual teachings in there as well, like that will allow you to cleanse yourself and will allow you to learn how to create a broken, unchained program for you to be able to design yourself that would allow you to create that tether straight through to consciousness and connect to the source yourself and become fully open. And then, like I said before to many people, when you're open and you understand and you're looking at enlightenment and all this, none of this matters. There's no fear in it. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, even the word that I just said, it doesn't really matter, is the fucking truth. So, peace, love, and respect, everyone. Like I said, thanks to everyone that I spoke to, thanks, Sarah, for the donations. I appreciate it much, sweetheart. It helped me out and shit, so I do appreciate that. I'll say that as well. With the big V word that everyone has to get in the word right now, in the big V passport and everything like that, so I put a video up about a doctor. I put a few different videos up with doctors, and some of these doctors do believe that this thing is real, and that they're trying to warn people still, and some of these people just know it's right. So this doctor himself is basically a pro into that situation that wants to do it and wants to help everyone with it, he believes. But he knows that the new design of the blueprint of what they're releasing as that is actually not very good and not healthy for anyone. So he's actually pro for it, but he's actually saying this latest one is no good. It's no good. And that's what it's all about. I don't really emphasize believing that he's trying to say that CV is basically I'll just fucking leave that alone. I'll put it up on BitShit or something like that, mate. But anyways, people, basically I'm just saying that I put it up so I can give an example of even the people on the pro side are saying and warning about it. But in the reality of it, it comes down to what you believe is what you create. You can have that thing, and as long as you understand that basically you can turn water into wine, you can bless anything, you can make sure that, like holy water, you can make something holy, and that only that is because you've given that energy field to basically neutralize anything that would be harmful to you. I don't recommend going and getting it, that's for sure, but I'm saying that it comes down to the systematic belief, and the systematic belief at the moment is that what's being fed all about it. So, like I said, I don't want to touch that fucking subject. I'm so sick of hearing about it, to tell you the fucking truth. Everywhere you look, everywhere on the fucking TV, everything is always fucking this, the same fucking shit. And they're just prolonging it with different fucking executions of the same name, but saying it's designated from a different place, which is fucking bullshit in itself. But yeah, it's crazy. But people, so here's my little rant. I hope it helped. At the moment I can speak pretty fluent at the moment, so I thought I'd definitely make a video while I can speak, because normally I have this fucking CPAP machine on during day and night and shit to get air and shit, so it's been a fucking struggle, that's all I can fucking say, man. So, like I said, Sarah, thanks for the donations. Everyone else as well, thank you for the donations. Artie and many other people as well, thank you very much for saying the words that you have and just checking up to see if everything's all right. And namaste and peace be with you all. I hope this gives a little bit more of a understanding of everything that's going on right now, because it is hard to grasp, but it is a design of the most divine, and that's what you've got to remember at the all of it. There is nothing that's designed in here to be able to fucking do anything that it shouldn't be able to do without the blessings and the creation and design of Source itself. So that's the whole understanding of all of this. It's just a lesson. So open your eyes and go into that awareness and see what the lesson is that you need. See what you see from all of it, and break through all those indoctrination patterns, break through all those indoctrination teachings. And when you're left in just that isolation of no programs running, have a look around and just see what you see, and you'll see that everything is still the right design of what you're trying to make it be. It's a game. And what you're seeing is this game being created right in front of your eyes to become a game. We've played many games like what's coming already. We've been taught through consoles, gaming systems, fucking PCs, Atari 2600s, Ataris, VIC-20s, fucking, what else? IBMs, fucking, all the kind of shit. So it's been there all the way through, even from the first fucking handheld fucking asteroid games and that, where you play and you had buttons on the side and the thing that looked like the spaceship itself, you know, when you're a little child. Shit like that. It was all there teaching you the mentality of what was to come. But instead of playing those little handheld games, you're looking at the so-called indoctrinated physical reality as turning into that manifested game, because in the truth of it, it doesn't really exist anyway, and it's always been a game. So it's very, very complicated and at the same time blatant and easy thing to understand. It just depends on how you try to look at it. So, but like I said, thank you everyone. Red, hope you're well. Devil, sorry I missed your message, mate. I basically just posted the video up and went to bed because someone contacted me and said that my video, the Max mentioned the book, so I went and checked it. Then I had to thank Max, so I stayed up doing that. And the video, the message that I sent to Max cut off a little bit. There was a bit about religion and a bit more after it. I don't have the eyesight basically to see my phone anymore, so I have to use glasses as well. And sometimes, you know, I just don't be fucked with it, mate, because it's just like looking at fucking Hebrew when I don't understand the fucking Hebrew language and all I see is these scribbles and shit. So it gets frustrating, you know. I need to get a person out here to check my eyes and do my eyes as well. So it's a crazy, crazy mixed up realm of fucking consciousness, that's for sure, people. But like I said, thank you to everyone. Thank you to the people that still follow the channel. And those that are new, I hope this gives you an understanding of what I've been trying to explain for many years. You know, I've fucking been saying it for years and years and years and years now. I've battled through these demons, basically, that fucking manifested and tried to help push me outside of the matrix either way. But they're not really demons as such, but it's just my terminology that I just explained it. So, but yeah, I'm still here. I'm still going strong. I still know what everything is. And despite everything that's happening and the so-called indoctrinated bad that's happening and I can't move, etc., etc., I don't give a fuck, people. I really don't, I struggle and I'll still live. I'll never exit the matrix at my own accord with my own design, you know what I mean? I'll never commit fucking suicide or anything like that, because I know what would happen if I did, and why the fuck would you want to do it again? It's absolutely fucking bizarre to try to do that and shit. So I'm sad that a lot of my mates and shit did it and shit, and they'll have to go through this fucking bullshit again. But mate, well, what can you do? I'll tell you, on a good note, so people actually explained around me and shit. Some of them basically mock me and shit for what I say. But so one of my brothers I grew up with, now he's a hard motherfucker. He's in Max Pen at the moment. My other mate, he's in rehab as well. So my other mate. So, but these are good people. It's just the indoctrination of the physical reality that's fucking head fucked them, mate, you know? And it's not good, but they're also searching for that connection to source to use their own natural DMT. They're being trained slowly that they have to use a drug to reach that higher state of consciousness, and that they're going through their own phases of enlightenment and understanding to get there, so their own paths, you know? But my brother basically said that what I should do, because I have been drifting away from it because all the physical and that I need to remember what I already know, because what I told him allowed him to see through a different way of thinking at all of the reality. And he sent me a letter from Max Pen and shit, so I sent him back a yarn to him, blah, 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 blah. I told him about the good old CV that's going on and what it really means and everything like that. So, but yeah, the fact is his mentality was 100% changed. And then when I caught up with him years ago, he went home from here after I explained to him everything about what I talk about, and then all of a sudden he had a little spiritual chick message him on Facebook, and then he said, hey, this is the one and all this stuff, and I don't know what happened after that, but the fact is that she was relaying the same message of what I already fucking said to him, basically, and it was Source once again going reconfirming, so he knew that there was something all to it, and he come back saying, I believe in consciousness, you know, I definitely believe in the Mandela effect, because, hey, that happened to me and shit, including the different ideologies of what the flat earth is and shit is like that. Like, I agree 100% with what Max says, that it's not a flat construct the way it's designed, and it's not a sphere, but it's flat, but there's a different understanding. It's more of a game level where you walk out one side and come back in the other side through a quantum shift without understanding there's any kind of quantum shift that gives you that illusion of being a round sphere. So it's definitely a very, very sophisticated design by all of us spirit put together and shit to manifest a learning playground that we can learn again, and it is an amazing place. Look around yourselves. Look out the window. Look down. Just look in your room. Look how real everything is constructed for you to believe that it's actually existent when it itself doesn't really exist whatsoever, which is the most craziest thing out of all of it. Like I said, I'll say it again, man. Peace, love, and respect, everyone. I hope you're all well. Stay strong through all these times, and those that are out there that need a more of an understanding, I suggest you get the book. You know, the e-book's going to take a little while still. I don't have money just falling out of my ass and shit. I wish I fucking did, because I'd help every motherfucker I know on this whole entire planet that needs help. And I have a lot of people that help me with the breathing and stuff like that, help me get equipment and that, because they're concerned. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart, you know. Especially my brother in the UK, Julie, thank you very much. That's so much appreciated, everything that you've done for me. So, yeah, getting a little bit of emotional there, but yeah, you know, so the humanity is good, man. Humanity really is a good thing. It's just that people are convinced that humanity isn't good and humanity destroys humanity. It's definitely not that. It's always the intent of those that want to have some kind of way of control over the rest that create that illusion. So the fact is, if someone went down the street and you've seen someone in pain or suffering, most people will stop and have compassion and go, you know, are you okay? So